Welcome to Title Talk with your host, Drew Wishover, entrepreneur, a published author, and owner of Inspired Title Group, along with his co-host and CEO, Amy Maley. Each week, they offer you some laughs, industry terminology, tips and strategies, along with the occasional real estate professional to help educate you as it pertains to buying, selling, or just plain old homeownership. Thanks for spending time with them. Now, let's jump into today's episode of Title Talk.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We made another week, Aim.
We
Woo, right? Yeah. See that? Stress. That's stress
This is
face.
the face of stress.
Well, we welcome you guys to our Thursday morning edition of Title Talk. I'm your host, Drew.
And I'm your co-host, Amy.
We are going to bring to you some fun-filled facts today. We're going to talk about our two truths and a lie. We're going to also discuss the intricacies of short sales and how they work. We've really done a pretty nice job with this production. I think that I need to compliment our producer here. Brittany did a marvelous job on our what is going to be our backdrop and slideshow. And
Brittany has been kicking tushy.
this technology is getting really, really good, and she's getting really good at it. So I'm excited about that for you guys to see some of the more things to come as we continue to grow in the world of social media and all of this fun. So why don't we now go into some things that will help people learn about the business, the industry that we're in. We're going to talk about something that I guess I'm sad to say might come up again.
I think this might be something
might be something that is going to be on the horizon for us. There's been a lot of forbearances in the world because of the pandemic. A forbearance is just an agreement that you make with your lender.
It's like a pause on your loan, pretty
ultimately,
much.
yes, you pause on your loan. They kind of delay it and things. We were very, very prominent in the industry of short sales several years ago where...
Before my time.
Yeah, I think you came in toward the latter part of it, right?
End of it, yeah.
So what we did was we did a lot of short sales through different banks and investors and things. And it was a really crazy time that was eye-opening and sad in the same time. And it was just something that was real. It was realistic because of what happened. So,
and I think the craziest thing that I learned about them was how long the process takes.
Oh,
and
my
we'll
goodness.
talk about that a little bit in our
definitely.
slides that are
So we went ahead and put together a slideshow that we're going to kind of guide you through some of the processes and what it is and how they work and some of the details about them. And this is something for realtors and attorneys,
people,
mortgage lenders, and then just the general population.
Yeah.
If you're on the cusp of a short sale, the thing that I would say to you is get professionals involved early.
Like yesterday,
I mean,
if you think it's going to happen.
Absolutely. We've interviewed a lot of the professionals in the business, and they have literally said that same thing is get us engaged quickly because we can help. And we are one of those people who can get you and point you to the direction of help between the realtors and the attorneys that we have in our portfolio.
Yep.
We can absolutely get you some help. Don't ignore it, dismiss it, let it go because it's just going to take time.
Yeah.
So why don't we go on to our first slide, which is what is a short sale? Amy, you want to take this one?
Sure. So a short sale is when the bank or lender voluntarily agrees to accept a dollar amount less than the total debt owed. So what that means is if my house is worth $200,000, if I owe like $150,
right,
the bank is okay. Am I saying this right?
Yeah.
The bank is okay with selling the house
for less
than it.
The 150.
Correct. For
Yes.
less than the 150.
Yes.
Sorry, I was throwing out
to
numbers.
guide you through that. That's okay.
No, thank you.
That's okay. And that's literally the definition. It's the bank being shorted the amount of money from what is owed on the mortgage. That's really the quick little summation of it is just the shortage, the less of what is owed.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it really looks great. I mean, Brittany,
Good
you
job,
really did a
Britt.
great job.
It looks sick.
So
Sorry.
go ahead, carry on with that.
All right. So the total amount owed includes attorney's fees, interest, court costs, association fees, and other potential fees. Lenders will only agree to a discount when it makes financial sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does financial sense mean?
Great.
Just as a
Totally great.
yeah.
So financial sense with regard to a short sale means that there's been enough paid down on that mortgage, or that short that they're taking
Is not so huge.
exactly.
Right.
The gap is not, there's still some equity. They feel that maybe with a little bit of work they can resell that house and at least claim the value of it back.
Right.
Um,
So it's house value.
It is.
It's like
It's really about the equity or the value of the house.
Mhm.
And again, in a short sale market, value of the houses come down. They come down substantially.
oh yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things that you try to refinance your house during a situation where there's a bunch of short sales around. What they have now is that becomes a comp. If that house,
A
which
comp
Amy
is
was
like
talking about,
yeah.
if that house for that 150 went for 125, okay, now it shows on the sold market as 125,000.
Yep.
Reality is the value at one point was 200. The
Mhm.
mortgage was 150. The bank took it for 125. That becomes the new comp in your area.
Yeah, that affects all the houses around you. And comps are, what you compare houses around your neighborhood to your
Mhm.
house to see kind of how much houses are worth.
Yeah,
So yeah, it drags down your market value. It drags down the
Huge.
neighborhoods. Yeah,
it's
it's a
huge.
big thing.
And so now you go to refinance your house thinking, well, I want to
probably
maybe
worth-
cash out or something.
Yeah.
It's 200,000.
Right.
Well, wait a minute. 4 people in my area just did short sales, and now it's substantially less.
Now it's 150.
Now you can't refinance. So it
affects-
doesn't just affect,
Correct.
right?
Not just you. It affects.
It does
everyone.
affect the whole area of the whole market. So,
Mhm.
all right, next we speak about the opportunity for listings. So I guess this is really something that is what we spoke of right out of the gate.
Mhm.
Who do you look to first? How do you recognize that distress? What do you know
I'm trying to point.
exactly? What you get a hold of your realtor.
Am I pointing to it?
Get a hold of that realtor, as Amy points to. This is great. It's working a green screen and not having anything.
I feel like I should just be the Vanna White.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the opportunity of recognizing that, wow, I'm going to be short. I'm going to be in some distress here.
Mhm.
Get the professionals engaged.
Yes.
And if it's not, the realtor's purpose is to immediately get that thing out there for sale to help to maybe sell that thing for a value
Correct.
that gets you out from underneath this.
And the thing is, I guess the one benefit of short sales or of foreclosures are that it is a process. It's not like you'll get a notice that say we're foreclosing on your mortgage, get out of your house in 2 weeks. Like because it
Go ahead, finish that sentence.
so because it is a long process, like if you know that if this is happening to you, like be proactive in what to do to help your situation, whether it
Proactive,
be
good word. Yeah.
proactive, yeah.
Yeah, good word. So you mentioned another word in there, and that word was foreclosure.
Oh,
so
sorry.
there is a difference between short sale and foreclosure.
Mhm.
Let's not misunderstand that a short sale is the bank taking money short for your mortgage. A foreclosure is the bank pursuing you for being late on payments.
Mhm.
Very different. And we
Yes.
can talk.
Sorry, my bad.
No,
Yes.
that's okay. No,
Yes.
that's good because it's a nice little
Yeah.
caveat to what people are going. Is there a difference?
Yes.
We
there
will
is.
definitely talk about that as well. And if there's
Mhm.
questions that you guys have, shoot us a quick message. If there's a question you have about a short sale or any of this process, hit us up. We'll be glad to answer those questions live with you here today. So,
Absolutely.
all right, next.
All right, so the next slide over here says pre-foreclosure listings. These homeowners need solutions from realtors because you will protect their interests, you have specialized skills, you maintain high ethical standards and integrity, you know your market, offer win-win solutions like short sales. So that was a long, wordy, lot of stuff written in this slide. So a pre-foreclosure listing is a distressed off-market property that hasn't been repossessed or auctioned yet.
Right.
So
Right.
that was my little when
Right.
I was
So-
exactly what is a pre-foreclosure.
And that's good to put a definition of that because what that's what the realtor is going to do. The
Correct.
realtor is going to list this property
Mhm.
as a pre-foreclosure, letting people know that this thing is probably going to go down that path.
This is
and,
your chance to
and,
get it
and this is
before
your chance to kind of let's fix this
Mhm.
and make an offer. And if the offer is more than what
A bank might,
exactly,
yeah.
you may work out with a couple bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So it also gives the bank the opportunity to know that you tried
Correct.
and what the market looks like in your area. So it's a telltale thing for a lot of different steps
Yes.
through this process. But again,
It's so hard. Like, I can't imagine this being like one of the toughest decisions and choices like any
Oh,
person
yeah.
will have to make in their life. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's because we always talk about people, think their house is worth a lot more than it actually is.
always.
And, trying to put it up for less just so you can get out a tiny bit ahead it's a tough thing
It
to
is.
for people to have to talk about.
And remember, Inspired Title is that friendly title company. We do care. And that's why we do this show every week. That's why we're out in the marketplace. We're on social media. These are things that are happening in the world, and we're not shying away from them. We're sitting here trying to educate you guys going, look, let's be proactive, using Amy's word, to assisting those people who are maybe confronted with this. It's embarrassing. We don't judge. This is not a judgment thing. This is a reality. It happens.
help people.
So let's help through this process, and maybe giving you guys a little bit of education on the process and what happens and what we can do. So as a title company, we're here to provide you guys this guidance and this assistance. So any more on this one, or are we moving on to the next?
I think we're good. Just a little information about ITG, about licensed in Illinois and Indiana.
Yeah,
Contact us, curbside closings, no touch closings, remote closings,
little
whatever
plug-
kind of
A
closing.
little company plug in the middle of a slide.
With their phone number in case you need it.
Yay.
I'm done now.
So over leveraged often leads to default.
It's a lot of big words again.
So there again, over leveraged. Many homeowners are stretching their family budgets to pay their mortgages and other bills. Of course, with a pandemic, it's obvious.
No doubt.
Are you gonna feed your family? Are you gonna pay your mortgage? You're gonna feed your family. So these
Is that
things
what comes
happen.
first? Just kidding.
So should anything happen to rock the boat, right? They may be unable to continue paying their mortgage.
Pandemic.
It's an example of the pandemic.
That's,
We're just defining this. And again, the rock the boat, that's the forbearance. The banks took on this whole, we're going to go ahead and issue a forbearance. And all that did is just delayed the obvious or the inevitable. And what does that mean? If you're not back at work yet, or there's no sign that you're going to go back, you're going to be on this path. And I'm not trying to
and I do know
scare.
People, and I do know people are cracking down on unemployment now. Like for a while, I know a lot of people were relying on that to help, finish,
Right.
to help tie together loose ends. But I do know that that's,
Right.
getting.
And
shut
as
down a
the
little bit.
previous slide said before, if you can't sell the home in that pre-short sale, pre-foreclosure opportunity, you're going to be confronted with this process.
Yeah.
And here again, it's not to make it scary, it's to make you understand it and help you know that there's a way to do it that can get you out from underneath this mess with very or little no impact. If you ignore it, the impact could be great. But if you follow these steps and listen to some of the things that we're here talking about today, it will engage the positive of a negative situation. So these are tough times, and we get it, and that's why we're here talking about it and sharing this with you. So on to our next. Do you have any comments to that one, Em? I'm sorry.
Just no. If that bottom point says if they cannot sell their home, they may end up in default.
Right.
What it means when you end up in default is not meeting the terms of your loan agreement that you previously have set out. So missing or late payments is usually one of the biggest things that will cause a loan to default.
Sure.
So just a little side note.
No,
that's
that's wonderful. So now, the determination here. Who actually would qualify for a short sale?
Who would actually qualify for a short sale? A homeowner who is in default or whose financial situation points to imminent default. So what that means is kind of like we were just talking about. If you are missing your payments, if you're late on payments,
Right.
that would qualify you to be able to put your house up for a short sale. A homeowner that has a type of loan and or lender with a defined short sale process. When a lender can net more by selling at a discount now versus selling at a REO or a real estate owned.
Right.
So yeah, what do you want to?
I'm going to take that third one.
Yeah. An REO is a real estate owned property,
Yep,
so
yep.
like that would be going through a foreclosure.
Well, real estate owned means so the bank, that's what the bank calls it. Bank
Yeah.
calls it REO because the bank doesn't want to own real estate. The bank wants to handle money. The bank
Right.
is in the business of lending money and they're a financial institution. They're not a real estate institution.
Yeah.
So what they do then is when they take your home, they put it into what is called the REO, and now they have realtors that sell those properties for them, and they try to obviously get them the most from what they lost. Banks don't lose money.
Never.
Banks
don't.
will
That is-
always win.
That's not a question. That's a statement.
I have said this in many different times,
Yeah.
under many different circumstances. Do not feel bad about shorting the bank. You're in a financial situation. It's not a good one. It's bad. You have to go through a foreclosure. You have to go through a short sale. Do not feel bad because the bank always gets theirs. They always make out. The government steps in and funds them. There's different opportunities that they win out. So when the bank can sell your house for more than what they bought it for, they're gaining money. So you offered them $100,000 short, or $100,000 on a $150,000 mortgage. They're short $150,000, right? But they sell it for $175,000 because the market's still there. They did fine. They not only made back all, they made plus. Okay, that's why on those first previous slides, you tried to sell it first because maybe you can reap that same benefit before
Right.
they
That
do.
the bank was going to get.
So that's the purpose of engaging that realtor right out of the gate to say, I think I'm going to be heading towards a short sale. Cool. Let's get this thing on the market. Let's see what we can do.
Proactive. That's the word that.
Especially
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
The market today is on fire. People are buying houses in hours. So
Yeah.
if you're in this position as we're speaking to you right now, you're missing every minute I speak. You are missing the opportunity to sell that house
Yeah.
at a premium. Get it out there.
Because the forbearance agreements are coming up. And if
Get it.
you're still in a situation,
Get
be
it out there.
proactive. Get
Sell
it.
your house.
Do
so,
it.
yep, do it now. All right.
Do it now.
Next slide says, so why a short sale? Well,
I win. Well,
it's
mine
all about
wins.
winning, isn't it? Right? So the client wins if no foreclosure house is sold. A real estate agent wins, commission paid. The bank wins, bad debt off their books. And the neighborhood wins. There's no REO or negative impact on the local property values.
So it's a win-win-win-win.
Whoa. Yay.
Because everybody wins, like you
So
said.
that's the short sale is the step before the foreclosure,
Correct.
right? The foreclosure is what will allocate the value of the properties around you.
Yes.
Okay, so if you can get this thing into short sale and get it negotiated out, everybody works out being satisfied. Even you as the short salee who's unloading the house.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's many of these different programs that you can get out of the house with $5,000
Yes.
or $10,000. You can get. They
Mhm.
give you back
Yeah.
monies.
And we actually work with a couple realtors and attorneys that, they'll say this house is coming up for short sale.
Right.
So they'll have me run a preliminary title on it. I'll run it. And then a year from now, they'll ask for an updated title because the short sale was approved.
Yes.
So then a lot of times you'll actually see the short sale contract with a foreclosure that'll come up
Yep.
after it that will get raised on title that wasn't there initially that will be handled in the short sale, which is
a
another
mouthful of
important
confusion
thing.
right
Yes.
there, right?
So it's important to know that if you get approved for a short sale and you end up going through this, which is a long process, it's not like we said before, it's not like selling your house.
Yeah, it's not overnight.
It's not a 2-month
No.
one and done process. It's years sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you decide to put your house up and it gets approved for short sale, if a foreclosure does happen on it, the mortgage the bank is foreclosing on will be satisfied in that short sale.
Mhm.
And I think that's just my little what I
No,
wanted
I
to
think
say
that's-
about
I
that
think that's
foreclosure
good.
because
Because the title piece, what we're doing, and
it's so much fun. Everyone should be a title examiner if
what-
you want to have the dream job.
what is the first part of what you said?
Brittany's
What is the
making
importance
faces
of
at
that?
me.
Yeah, that's because she's starting to do it herself.
And she doesn't like it as much as I do. Yes.
What is the first part of what you said? That they come to you and do like a preliminary search.
Mhm.
Why?
So what a realtor will do is say, "Can you just this is a short sale that might be coming up. Can you let me know what's open on it or what's pending on it. So what my job would be then is letting them know. So if I would say probably 95% of the time, if you have a mortgage, the bank is paying your taxes.
Yeah.
So a lot of times there's no tax problems.
Right.
So on the first initial look, I will see, okay, we got an open mortgage, we got some clean taxes.
Right.
Give it to them like it's a normal deal.
Right.
And that's kind of how it starts, to make sure there is that open mortgage, because short sale would never happen if there was no open mortgage, right?
Correct.
So
Nothing
yeah,
to
that's
default
kind of So that's where it first starts out.
Isn't there also? It's also helpful to find out
If
if there's any other lien,
any other liens, judgments, encumbrances.
because those second and third lien positions may never
Yes.
see a dime.
And though that's hard. That definitely makes the short sale negotiation process harder.
Yep.
If there is if you have your first mortgage and then there's a junior mortgage and
Right.
then there's
You got a
Yep.
line of credit
a
in
line
there.
of credit, because then theoretically in your short sale, every one of these people will want to get their money. So that's what kind of makes short selling a house. That's what kind of puts a niche in it.
And that's-
there's an open.
In that instance, so the example we've given out of the gate of the 200, 150, maybe the first mortgage is settled for 100,000.
Awesome.
So they took it short, right? The second mortgage may get 5 or 10,000 or nothing. It just depends
it's so
on what
hard.
kind of liquidity is available. And for sure, beyond that, you're off.
You're done.
You're not going to get paid out. So this also comes to play in a situation where, let's just say you're lending a family member money or you're lending a friend money and you're going to put a lien on their house. Find out what position you're going to be in. If you're in second or third position and they go rogue and default on the world, you'll never see your money again. So being in a priority position is very important,
This irks me.
as
Conversation.
much as, the bank's going to win. The bank's going to get theirs. But you were a nice guy and said, you know what, yeah, I'm going to lend them $50,000 because they were in some trouble. I'll just put a lien on the house, and if they ever refi or they ever sell, they can pay me back until they default. Now that $50,000 becomes maybe 5 or 0. And
it's hard because people will put mortgages on. Family members do lend money, but they will record a mortgage on it. As much as you love somebody, as much as
why wouldn't you?
you trust somebody, you have to protect yourself.
That solidifies the deal. If you trust that person, let him put a mortgage in your house. If you're going to take a mortgage without recording it, shame on you.
Sorry.
Shame on
You're
you.
good.
I mean, it's like any other deal. If you trust the person, then they should be fine with you doing the right thing.
And if
they're
they
going,
don't,
right,
then maybe walk the other way.
right. Oh, I don't want you to do that. Why?
You don't trust me? You need to
Right.
really need to.
Right. Yes. The world of trust. Okay, moving on.
Because we're. Yep.
Oh, okay,
All right,
you got
short
this.
sales benefit homeowners. We kind of touched on this a teeny tiny bit, so we'll do
Yeah.
a little recap. The homeowners can sell for FMV without paying anything. FMV is your fair market value. Also, the homeowner keeps foreclosure off their credit report. That's that word that nobody wants to hear that we keep talking about, but hey, this short sales save you from this foreclosure. The homeowner can relieve themselves on the burden and move on. So it's short sales is craptastic of a word as it is, it's benefiting you. Short sales are the way to go if you are feeling like you can't pay your mortgage or you're going through some hard times.
And in most instances, it will not be a blemish on your credit. It will not
this will
impact
save
you as much as the foreclosure would, because the foreclosure sits on your credit for a period of time. You're not able to refinance. You're not able to buy anything. It has to be there for 7 years. So it definitely impacts your credit worthiness. And what are we doing right now? Everything we're buying on credit. So the reality of needing that good credit score or that credit worthiness, this can help protect that for you guys going forward.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but you want to try to keep the foreclosure off your back as much as
Yes,
possible.
that is what a short sale is for,
Yep.
to keep a foreclosure
Yep.
from affecting you for the next 10 years.
Right on. Carrying on.
This slide is like the Bible.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of words in this
I-
steps in a short
I
sale.
think as this one comes up, you're going to see 10 steps to doing a short sale. If there were just 10, right?
There's 712.
I mean, these 10 are after a lot of stuff on the front side, behind the scenes that are done. For example, that gathering documents needed for the short sale package.
You need an attorney. I'm sorry. You need a realtor. You need an attorney. I didn't mean to
Yes.
cut you off.
No.
Don't try to negotiate or go through a short sale without an attorney. If you need an attorney, we have great attorneys that we love working with that are fantastic with short sales, but it is not something to do alone.
And that point is very well said as well. There are attorneys who are real estate attorneys, but then there are attorneys who are real estate attorneys that have done short sales.
That have specialized in short sales.
I can't tell you the number of attorneys in the 2006, 7, 8, 9, and beyond that when they saw a short sale on the other side of the deal, they went away from it. They said, you know what,
Nope.
there's something wrong. I don't want to deal with
Can't
this.
do it.
It's really because they didn't understand it. It's really because they didn't want to take on the risk of that the short sale was done correctly.
Correct.
Albeit risk, and there being some truth to that, it doesn't demand the bad stigma that it has with it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but
Correct.
it's there. So we have been fortunate, it's a rough word to use, but fortunate to be very experienced in this short sale marketplace and work with the attorneys who are very, very well versed in this and know the lingo to speak to getting these things done and resolving these things in a quick manner. Somebody who has never
Timely
done
and
these,
painless.
yeah, somebody who's never done this is going to limp through this and take a ton of time. So that is important as well. So that gathering the documents piece first is huge. That is a large process. That doesn't take 5 minutes. The second piece of call your lender for short sale requirements,
Have your attorney call you
Yes.
for short sale.
engage the professionals
Yes.
and
And
let
they-
them guide you.
They take a lot of this off of your plate. So
Mm-hmm.
this is like kind of a behind the scenes of what an attorney does that you would have to be doing by yourself if you did. It's
Correct.
a lot. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like what a behind the scenes of what an attorney will do for you in a short sale process.
We've had realtors on and we've talked about this specific stuff and they've really enhanced the importance of and the difficulty and the time that it takes to get 1 and 2 done. Because lenders aren't always, responsive to this.
For sure.
And people, us, you, are not always responsive to the gathering of the information. You gather it piecemeal and you submit it, and now they're like, okay, well, you need more, and we need this, and we need that. Gathering it is important.
Yep.
We did talk about listing and marketing the home at the fair market value. Again, to try to get yourself out from underneath this beast,
Yep.
right? Develop the short sale approval or proposal. That's going to be the reality. That's going to be the number that you're going to propose to the bank to take. And they usually counter that. They usually come back and say, no, we can't take that, but
We can
we'd be
take-
willing to take this.
Yep.
And then it becomes something, for negotiation for you guys. Obtain an offer and set a correct buyer expectation. I guess that's got a lot of,
Levity.
yeah.
A lot of weight
because,
to it.
Because that's where the buyers and buyers attorneys come in there and go, oh no, we don't want to deal with that. That's a bad property. No, it's a fine property and they're fine people. They ran into a bad circumstance.
Yeah.
So don't judge and don't put a stigma on it. So it's not always bad. Submitting the short sale proposal with a preliminary HUD. The preliminary HUD is ultimately your closing fees and costs, and all of that's going to go around it. And this allows the bank to determine what they will and will not pay, and what they will and will not cover on behalf of you as the seller, the short sale person. The bank is very specific to what the do's and don'ts are to that. There again, we know a lot of the terminology that they want to see. So because it's called a blah blah fee, but they want to see it as a doo-doo fee, we know what doo-doo fee is. So we put it in that term.
Nobody
They
wants-
won't take blah blah, but they'll take doo-doo. Great, we're going
I'll
to give you a
take blah
bunch
blah
of
over
doo-doo.
doo-doo any day.
Some of us like doo-doo. What can I say?
Yes.
What can I say?
Oh.
So you meet the interior BPO agent with the CMA. There's a lot of little things here, right? CMA, comparative market analysis,
Analysis, yeah.
right? BPO is the buyer.
Or-
Go ahead, you got it.
No, I know it's right there.
Okay, I'll let you ponder on that.
Do you
for a
know
minute.
it?
I do. I want you to ponder on that for a minute. Maybe just Google it real quick so you'll never forget it again.
Broker
So
price opinion.
there it is. broker price opinion. That's where the broker comes out and says, I feel that this house is valued at X.
It's not an appraisal. It's not anything.
No,
it's
just
what
a broker's
person
opinion.
thinks. Yeah.
That's all it is. They will go out and kind of do an analysis of the area and what the house can sell for. Those are important as well. Negotiate the deal with all the lien holders, as
That's
we
what we
spoke
were
before.
talking about. Yep.
You know, if there are other lien holders there behind us, yeah, you got to deal with those. Those are points to deal with. Keep the buyers along for the ride,
Put on your seatbelt and let's go for this.
and then get it closed. I mean,
Yeah.
that ride is 6 to 8 months, maybe a little bit longer.
I pulled up a 19 file.
Well, what
recently.
happens is again the pandemic slowed a
Slowed
lot of
everything
things down.
Yeah.
But the experience of where we've been with these, from beginning to end, a year would be long. It's probably done in that 9-month period of time too. So that's it's a waiting period. But if a buyer really wants that property, they'll hang on.
They will.
So.
They will.
All right, go ahead, Aim.
The ugly parts of the short sale process.
There
Number
are
one.
ugly parts.
The what?
There are ugly parts.
Yes. Gathering documents. What documents do I need?
Right.
Call the lender. Good luck calling lenders. I don't mean to be a jerk
It's
saying
true.
that, but like
You're
even trying
clever.
to confirm wire instructions or get payoffs or like it's hard to get a hold of a lender.
You're on hold for
Get an attorney.
Definitely.
List and market the home at current FMV
now a better time
than ever. Yep. Develop the short sale proposal, which is a long time consuming process,
Huge.
like long and time consuming process that your attorney could help you with. Obtain an offer. Need a roadmap for the buyers. So what that means is, like Drew's saying, once a buyer realizes it's a short sale, you'll have to make sure you have someone on your side that'll help.
And they know they're getting it for a value.
They
So
do,
so
yep.
they are likely to hang on because they're not only interested in the property, but they're going to be getting it at a nice value.
We have seen some short sales that were like appraised at $1 million for like $750,000, like
Yes.
pretty crazy things.
If you have the financial wherewithal to be on the investing side of this, it's a great opportunity because the real estate market will come back. Think about it, look at it now. If you held on to any of these things that we're talking about and sold them today, you did very well. But do you have the ability? Are you liquid to do that? Again, there's a positive on both sides of this.
There is. Submit offer and HUD. That's what does that mean? It's a time consuming and it's a pain in the tushy. Meet the BPO agent, which is also time consuming. Yeah. Negotiate the deal with all lien holders, which is also time consuming.
More time, yes.
And pray and hope that you actually do close.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some of the headaches that you will deal with in the short sale.
That's our piece, the closing piece. I mean, that's where we're going to really, really shine with our expertise on handling these short sales. We have a team that is very well versed in working with the attorneys and the realtors and speak the lingo and able to get this stuff done.
Yes.
Again, a lot of title companies shy away from this. If it doesn't fit in this box and it's not perfect, they don't want to do it. They're scrutinizing this thing to no end and making it more difficult. We've done it. We've seen it. It's hard.
We know it.
Yeah. We got it. We got it.
We got you.
Get engaged with the teams that know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about mistakes, Aim? Are there mistakes in this thing?
Probably no.
Oh boy. Well, you can assume that the short sale process is easy and fast.
That it is slow and it is very painful.
Listing a property for an amount to cover the full payoff. Be realistic.
Yes.
Be very realistic. It's not likely that that's going to be your reality. You're just happy to get a contract on this thing for a value that shrinks the amount of the short, and I think that would put you in a better position to negotiate the thing. Definitely not understanding that lenders have a set minimum percentage. A lender is not going to take $1,000 on a $100,000 house. They're not going to do it. So you don't come in there with Slick Rick, your attorney, thinking that we're going to just make a deal. It's not like that. They have standards of what they're going to work with. Slick Rick or who's the guy from the Joe Pesci played him in the movie. He was an attorney. Cousin Vinny. Don't bring in Cousin Vinny for your attorney. It's not going to work out well. Thanks for getting me there.
I sat.
I know you did
patiently.
great. Yes. Not preparing for the crucial interior BPO. Make your house look presentable. I mean, don't damage the house to lower the value even more.
Correct.
Because then there's a financial piece that has to be added to fix it and bring it up to, par so they can sell it.
Yep.
Sending the incomplete short sale package, we talked about that. Not being patient, yes. You got to be persistent, though. Persistence is key. Persistence with your attorney, persistent with your realtor, persistent with the lender, all of that. You've
Yes.
got to do that. And then not knowing how to negotiate. Again, that's what we don't expect that you do know how. We expect that you're going to pan that off on somebody else. So
Correct.
there we are. Next is you, Aim.
Next and final, the competitive edge when we work together. In your listing presentation, you can offer your potential client specialized skills, a whole team protecting their interests. So what this is pretty much saying is like we've been saying, engage somebody who knows what a short sale is. Start with your realtor. Your realtor will most likely know an attorney or know a title company that has worked with short sales before. Don't try to go the cheap route and just find somebody who will get this done and good luck with it. Find professionals that have dealt with short sales and
Right.
engage them now.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and obviously this is a learning process. So what we try to do here each week is give you guys something to think about, give you guys some knowledge, give you some direction. Short sales are real; they do happen. They're not something that is uncommon, and especially to us. So if you need help, if you have questions, we're not just sitting here in front of you doing this because we have to. We're doing this because we want to. We're doing this because we know it's out there. We project it and foresee it on the horizon. It's something that's been forecast in the industry. So why don't we talk about it a little bit? Get you guys some education on it, and let's talk about how to resolve it and what those processes look like. So I hope that Amy and I have kind of simplified this a little bit. And if you have questions, feel free to call us or message us, email us, whatever you need to do to get your answers. But don't not ask. Those are the ones that are going to really be in some trouble. Tons of realtors and friends in the industry that can help you guys out with this stuff. So I think that was very helpful. I hope that
I hope
found
your
it
brain is
helpful
not
as well.
exploding right now. I know we touched on a lot, so rewatch it, ask us questions, send us an email if this is something that you think might be on your horizon. Sadly, reach out to us and we will get you in contact with the right people.
I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and talk about it because we do it, and we are in this business. We understand that it may sound very foreign to you. However, we also know and have dealt with enough of you out there that it's okay. Don't put your pride first. This is okay to recognize that there's a problem and there's an issue, and that's why we're bringing it up and bringing it to the forefront here. So.
It was foreign to me at one point.
It was.
Like I had no idea what a short sale was when I first started working here. But
and the first handfuls that we closed way back in the day,
Duel.
they were tripping and stumbling because there was terms and there was
It's a lot.
circumstances and moving parts. Yeah, but we know how to do it, and we're happy to say that we know how to
and
do
I
it.
know how to do it well now. I will
Amen.
say that.
Let's wrap this thing up and get to our quote of
Quote of the day.
What do you got, Aim?
The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Good old Nelson Mandela.
So great.
Let's go.
I'm truly waiting for the time that we come through a quote of the day and we both say the same one.
It is bound to happen at some point.
It will be amazing that day. I'm looking forward to that.
It is bound to happen at some
So
point.
my quote, going with Amy's question about things that bother me in this industry or this business, is the way to get started is quit talking and begin doing. Walt Disney.
Don't talk.
Stop talking about it and get off the couch and go do it.
I almost did a Disney quote today. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
But not that one.
I mean, we talk to a bunch of people in a day, and some of them even in our office, and some of them even as our friends and clients. You know, I really want to do this. And you check in with them in a week, they still want to do it. They haven't taken the steps. Go do it. Life
Don't
is
talk,
short.
just do.
Life is short. Go do it. Stop thinking about it and just go do it. So that is my end for what I think has been a really knowledgeable and helpful title talk.
This has been, A lot of knowledge for
If you missed any of this, if there's something that you want to revisit,
if you think it might sadly happen to you.
absolutely. We're going to have this on YouTube in a handful of days. You can actually go back and watch it on the Inspired Title page. We will definitely post this to YouTube in a handful of days. But please share, like, definitely subscribe. Come out and like our page. Really come out and make a mention of Title Talk on our Google. Give us a Google review and mention our Title Talk weekly. The goal is to build up the listenership of this. I know during the live hour we only get a handful of people, but I'm telling you,
I do know people
behind the scenes watching this afterwards has been several
growing.
hundred.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is growing every
400, 500, 600 people. So that's exciting.
That's awesome.
And that just means a lot. And that number is, like you said, growing. Give us a shout. We're here to help you guys. Again, Inspired Title, the title company that cares. We are located in Palos. We also have an office in Indiana. We are more than happy to answer your questions and deal with anything you want to do. So congratulations for listening to us today. Thank you so kindly. My name's Drew.
And my name is Amy.
Until next time, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Have a great week.